Good morning, everyone. I'm just here in the quiet in the morning in the sanctuary, and I've been reflecting all week on the passage in 1 Kings 19 where Elijah has defeated the prophets of Baal on the Mount of Carmel, and this epic battle that leads to kind of epic depression for Elijah. And I wanted to deal with that a little bit today. I think it's relevant for all of us, for many of us. The world is still, as we speak, I feel like this is the mantra every week when I make my videos, the world is in turmoil. And, can be hard to keep on keeping on. And so I think that this story of Elijah has much to teach us. So I'm going to read it. I did write a song about it. It's very narrative, kind of tells the story itself. So I won't read all the lyrics this morning. They will be in the description of this video. But just really wanted to share these words. They've gotten me through this week, and I hope they'll do the same for you. Now Ahab, this is King Ahab, told his wife, Jezebel, everything that Elijah had done and how he had killed all the prophets with the sword. So Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah to say, "May the gods deal with me, be it ever so severely, if by this time tomorrow I do not make your life like that of one of them." So there's a hit on Elijah's head. It's pretty heavy. Jezebel actually had killed a ton of the prophets of Israel by this point already. Elijah was afraid. Even though he had just performed this epic miracle, with God's help, Elijah was afraid, and he ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a day's journey into the desert. He came to a broom tree, sat under it, and prayed that he might die. "I have had enough, Lord," he said. "Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors." Then he lay down under the tree and fell asleep. I mean, this is it. He's been contending with evil leadership his entire time as a prophet, and he's worn out. He's done, and he's been through so much, and he's seen God moving extraordinarily, and so it's not like he despises God or thinks that God is not in it. He just says, "I'm tired. I don't want to have to do it anymore. I'm tired of fighting this fight. I'm tired of being chased into the woods. I'm tired of people trying to murder me." And I think I get it. So he's like, "Just take me, Lord." All at once an angel touched him. So he's fallen asleep. All at once an angel touched him and said, "Get up and eat." Elijah looked around, and there by his head was a cake of bread baked over hot coals and a jar of water. He ate and drank and then lay down again. God just let him be, kind of nourished him for a bit. The angel of the Lord came back a second time and touched him and said, "Get up and eat, for the journey is too much for you." So he got up and ate and drank. Strengthened by that food, he traveled 40 days and 40 nights until he reached Horeb, the mountain of God. And there he went into a cave and spent the night. I just love the tenderness of God here, not saying to him, "You fool, haven't you seen me working? Why are you so worn out and exhausted? How could you be so depressed? How could you want to die right now?" No, he sends an angel, and he nourishes them. He lets them sleep. He gives them rest, a place of shelter. And then does it again. And then says, "Okay, here, take this food. Let it strengthen you. The journey is long. It's too much for you, but it's not too much for you when I am providing." So he makes his way to Mount Horeb, and the word of the Lord came to him. "What are you doing here, Elijah?" I love this interaction. He replied, "I've been very zealous for the Lord Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I'm the only one left. And now they're trying to kill me too." It's like, my number has come. My time has come. The Lord said, "Go out, stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by." Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountains apart and shattered the rocks before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. Some versions read a still small voice. When Elijah heard the still small voice, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Can you imagine the destruction all around him after the wind and the earthquake and the blazing fire passes through? And it's in the midst of the chaos that he stands there, surrounded by the gentle whisper, knowing that the presence of God is near. I think this is a lesson for us today. Whatever chaos you're standing in, whatever rubble is around your feet, God is there. His whisper is there. It's actually, he's never left you. But open your eyes today and be mindful of his presence with you and listen to what his voice has to say. Then the voice says again, then a voice said to him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Parallel, exactly what the Lord had asked Elijah in the beginning of this encounter. And Elijah's response, verbatim, "I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me too." Same answer, same question. God is drawing Elijah out. What's your heart? Tell me about it. What is the thing that burdens you most? And it's that Elijah is standing alone. That there is no one else. There's no one coming to rescue him. In fact, everyone is mobilizing to murder him. And he's been working so hard, and he's given everything, and he has nothing left to give. And God pushes him to repeat that again. What is it? What is it? These words that come next comfort me so much. Then the Lord said to him, "Go back the way you came. Go to the desert of Damascus." More work doesn't necessarily sound exciting probably at this moment. But there's more. What is Elijah supposed to do? When you get there, anoint Hazael king over Aram. Also, anoint Jehu son of Nimshi king over Israel. Change of leadership. And anoint Elisha son of Shaphat from Abel Mechloah to succeed you as a prophet. He's sending in reinforcements. God's saying, I've got work for other people to do now. You just run this next leg and I'll give you a break. Jehu will put to death any who escape the sword of Hazael, and Elisha will put to death any who escape the sword of Jehu. Yet I reserve 7,000 in Israel, all whose knees have not bowed down to Baal, and all whose mouths have not kissed him. I think Elijah's greatest fear was that he was alone. He was certainly isolated. The prophets were in hiding, the ones that remained. Most of them had been murdered, killed, and Elisha looked around him and all he saw was wickedness. The good people were in hiding. And Elijah alone was the good person who was kind of standing for all to see, and so he was catching all of the fire. And here, the words of God as he's at the end of his rope say to him, Elijah, do not fear. You're not alone. Don't fear. It's not all on your shoulders. Don't be afraid. I'm going to put my strength in you as I have every step of the way. And now I'm going to surround you with people to support you on your right and on your left. 2 kings and a prophet to take that load off of your shoulders. In a sense, he's saying to him, go and rest. And we know the story that comes not long after where the chariots of fire come down and actually do take Elijah into the heavens. But I think about this is that where are we? I think many of us are in that same place. We feel isolated and we feel alone. We feel like maybe we've been standing up and doing good work and maybe contending, and there's a whole lot of exhaustion involved in that. And maybe some of us just want to curl up under the broom tree and die. We don't want to take another step. And God kind of says, I know, it's okay. I was in the Garden of Gethsemane, right? Jesus. I know the feeling. Lord, take this cup from me. I think that's what Elijah was crying. Lord, take this cup from me. But not my will, yours be done. And God gave Elijah the rest that he was looking for. But I think the most powerful thing to this, to me in this story, is that Elijah was never alone. God had never left him. There actually were 7,000 who had not bent the knee to Baal. I don't think Elijah was aware that there were that many who were faithful. They were just isolated and separated. Maybe those 7,000 were also feeling, it's just me. There's no one else. And God said, now I'm going to make it apparent to you, and I'm going to bring others around you to carry the work forward. I don't know where you are along that journey, or even where I am. I know the exhaustion of the weight of responsibility and feeling like I'm screaming into the void some days. I know what it is to feel isolated and alone and pushed against. But I also know what it is not to feel alone, to feel the gentle, small, still voice of God hovering like at creation in the midst of the chaos and the rocks that have crumbled down around me and the earthquakes and the fires. I know that voice. And I know what it is to wake up almost as from a dream and realize that no, there are still others like me out there. We might be isolated, we might be separated, but there are others. And I also know what it is to be able to kind of pass off responsibility to others and to say, okay, the Lord is going to move us forward together as one body, as one people. And none of the work has to be squarely on any one of us. So may we lift up our hands and all of our burdens and all of our concerns and very honestly and straightforwardly tell God if we're just done and we'd rather not wake up the next time we go to sleep. If that's where we are, just say it to him. He knows your heart, and he wants to hear it. And when we throw ourselves at him like that, it's when he sends his ministering angels to us. So allow them to minister to you today, and allow there to be that flicker of hope that this is not the end, that there is still more to come. And that's in essence the song that I wrote. It took me an entire week to really write this one. It's just been brewing and working in me, but there's towards the end of the song, the chorus says, so rise up, do not fear. I've put my strength inside of you. Do not stop. I will guide and make the way clear for you. I think it's the same for you. I think it's the same for all of us. He's calling us to rise up, to trust that his hand is around us and on us. Doesn't mean we're warriors, superheroes that never get exhausted or tired or down. But he's calling us in our moments of weariness to continually put our weariness at his feet and to allow him to feed us, to participate with him. It's not just like he's a slave driver. He's saying, I want you to participate in what I'm doing until the work is completed and I bring you home. All right, my song is next. I hope you enjoy it, and may the Spirit of God nourish you this week. Amen. Elijah underneath that old broom tree, Jezebel seeking after his life, cried out to his maker to end his life, fell asleep hoping never to wake. God wasn't done with that one prophet, so he sent an angel to him. That angel was